Can you believe it that this motorcycle has 80,000 kilometers? Yes, that's right. This is Yamaha Racer 700 and I bought this motorcycle 4 years ago. It's kind of sentimental because this was my very first motorcycle for my new business here in Canary Islands, where we do rentals and tours. Now it's time to say goodbye, but I think it's also time to say something about the experience with Yamaha and the service cost, reliability, what we like, what we didn't like. I think could be very helpful for other people because I have a direct comparison with other bikes because we have 17 models here. So in 2017, this motorcycle cost 8,999 euros here in Spain. Comparing to the new T7, it's 300 euros less, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, exactly, 8,599 euros cost the new Yamaha Racer 700. So with this motorcycle, I also bought a couple of accessories. The crash bars, the engine protectors, the side bags, and the little bag for the handlebars. From my experience, the cost is more or less, it's okay, I will put it somewhere in the video. The downside, for example, let's start with the side bags. So I actually have it here. If you break anything on this original side bag, you can't replace it. So happened that one customer made the mistake, crashed it with the car a little bit, and it's broken. But you can't buy any single piece of this side bag. So, and also you can't buy a one piece. So you have to always buy two pieces, which is kind of sucks. Regarding the little bag, we had it on the handlebars. It lasts around 1.5 years, and then the zip just didn't work. So unfortunately, we have to throw it away. The engine and crash bar protectors are really, really good product from Yamaha, and it works brilliantly. It saved the motorcycle a couple of times from some, scratches and on fairings or tank. And I think this is a very good product. You can buy also a third party, different brands, but for us it was convenient to buy everything together with the bike. The last thing we mounted on this bike, there was a rear top case, and this is from Givi. You can buy it for $100, 100 euros, plus the top box. It depends if you want to have plastic or aluminium, then the price varies. But personally, I don't like it on the bikes, but it's kind of necessary to have it if you want to travel, and all our clients, they wanted to have it, so we just bought it. Let's talk about the service history and service cost. We service always the motorcycle in the local dealership, and we always doing that regarding the recommendation from Yamaha. So what you can find in the official documents of the Yamaha, there is first check after 1,000 kilometers, which is the engine break-in. This cost us around 80 euros. I know that it could quite vary depending where you are. The next service is every 10,000 kilometers. Every 20,000 kilometers, there is a slightly bigger checkup, and every 40,000 kilometers, it's a big service where they will change the spark plugs, air filter, and they will also check the valve clearance. I think 10,000 kilometers it's quite good. We have motorcycles like KTM 390, Duke or Adventure. They have every 7,000 kilometers, but also we have, for example, Ducati Multistrada 950. There is service every 15,000 kilometers, so 10,000 it's kind of average, and it's kind of okay. Also the costs. So we pay here in Spain, and here in Canary Islands, I have to say, that also could depends. We pay around 120 euros for the normal service, and I think that the biggest one was around 220 euros, which was including also the spark plugs and everything around. So not cheap, but kind of okay. By the way, this is the user manual you will get, and this is how the this is how the table looks. We use oil which is recommended from Yamaha. It's called Yamaloop 10W40. It's not really important if it's what it is recommended. That's what we use. One important thing in the table of the recommendation, they recommend change oil filter every second visit. I don't like it. I think the oil filter is not really expensive, so you should change it every visit in the service. Trust me, it could save you problems in the future. Okay, let's talk about what happened on the bike after 80,000 kilometers. Well, basically nothing. The only big issue we had was the ABS module was behaving quite strange and it was making some noise. So it was in the guarantee. They check it up, they change the ABS module, and that was it. Then there is a little stuff. There's a couple of parts which are correlated, but then again we have to mention that we are in the Canary Islands, and this is just the ocean is around here, so the air is kind of humid, and you can find also a lot of salt in there. So it's a bit more aggressive than usual. But in general, the correlation is only on some parts, and I don't see that as a big deal. You can find, for example, on the front disc. You can find it on the front mirror as well, and on some parts on the engine. But I think it looks pretty good after that many kilometers. Then there is a protection for chain. There is one bolt which is always loose, and it makes little noise, and it's quite annoying. So I really didn't like that quality. So from the start, there was a couple of things which was, I would say, like annoying for me, or stuff I don't like it. The first one, and I think Yamaha knew, or they know about this, that's the sound of the chain, which is annoying. I don't know, you can loop it as you want, but it always sounds like there is a little loop, and it's kind of driving me crazy. I think they fixed it already. The other part was that the sound of the exhaust, it's very, very quiet, which is could be good for someone, but I would, and I know that now on the T7, on the new one, the sound is a little bit better. But yeah, definitely, if it's my personal bike, which is not for the rental, I would definitely put a different exhaust. Regarding the electricity, I changed bulb, I think, twice, and I also changed the battery after 3.5 years and 70,000 kilometers. And it cost me around 50 euros, and I changed it by myself quickly, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think regarding the reliability, Yamaha, it's superior and it's awesome. This Tracer 700 was working always. We didn't have any issue with you can't start it, or it left somebody somewhere. It was always working. What I really liked, that the brake pads, they last a long time. So here in the Canary Islands, there's a lot of corners, and you have to brake, and you have to brake very often. So usually we will get 10-15,000 from the brake pads, but on this bike you can get 25 plus on the original pads, and I think this is amazing. We never had the need to refill the oil. The bike is solid, it's working all the time. We never had any problems with electronics, and yeah, it's quite a good bike. Now let's talk about the cost of the tires. We changed 8 front tires and 11 rear tires, in total of 1,650 euros, which makes you cost around 0.02 on kilometers. Yeah, considering also that if you clean the bike with a pistol, with the water pump, I think it's better for the bike. Some people say you shouldn't do it, and I understand why. Because, for example, in this case, what happened that after a couple of years, you will get a correlation between the link with the rear suspension. So this is something you should take a look. In our case, it was making some squeezy sounds, so we just changed it, and I will continue to cleaning with the water pump, because here on the island, as I said, there's a lot of salt in the air, and it's kind of dirty. So I like it when you clean it like this. Solid bike, really good bike. It was amazing 4 years. Let's see if I can start it. Come on, come on. Always, always. This is great.